Hey birdies, welcome to another episode on Let's Talk About It. We are your hosts. I'm Karen,
I'm Daniela.
and today we're going to be talking about an interesting topic. But before then, I want you to know that this space is a space of real stories, relatable conversation, renewed faith, and relentless hope. So it's a space where you can come and be very vulnerable about yourself, about your experience, and I promise you nobody's going to judge you. We'll sit and listen to what you're going through, what you're experiencing, because there's somebody out there that is experiencing just the same thing, that just wants to hear a word of encouragement so that the person can move through. And today our topic is friendship and how they shape us. To be honest, I believe that who we are as a person, the kind of friends that you keep. You remember that saying that they say, birds of the same feather flock together. There's no way you'll be friends with somebody that you don't share the same value with, or somehow they don't influence your decision or how you act or how you move. Let's not lie to ourselves. Let's not lie to ourselves. Friendship in today's world, in fact, friendship, they play a very powerful role in shaping who we become, who we are, who we become. Oftentimes we realize that in this time, the kind of friends we keep. See, in the university, I kept the kind of friends that influenced me, not in a good way. In fact, I don't know, the kind is me sitting down here is by the grace of God. That's all I can say, because the kind of life I lived and sitting down to think about it, the friends that I kept, it influenced the kind of life that I lived back in school. Because the kind of things that I wanted to do back in school, I was seeking for freedom, freedom, freedom. I finally got the freedom. And the kind of things that I was craving to want to do, I subconsciously was looking out for friends that wanted to live the same life that I actually wanted. And somehow, some way, I got those friends and we were living that kind of life. How did I end up? I got an extra year, came out with a third class. Would I have done better? Of course I would have done better, but at that time I just wanted to live my life. I just wanted to live my life. And you would I also believe that if your friends do not have true intentions for you, they will give you advice. Because of this, you call them your friends, you trust them. You will not be friends with somebody you don't trust, or somebody you don't see yourself being reliable on. You'll be passing through things and you go to your friend for an advice, and mind you, those people give you advice based on their experience. They're not going to give you advice outside of their experience. They will always give you advice based on what they know. Is it whether it's good or whether the advice is bad? They will always give you advice based on what they know. So in this episode, we'll explore how friendship influence our identity, confidence, boundaries, and emotional well-being. From healthy connection that encourages growth to unhealthy dynamics that quietly drain us. That's where you come in. We unpack the lesson friendships teach us along the way. This conversation invites reflection on who we allow into our inner circle, what we tolerate in the name of loyalty, and how choosing the right friendship can positively shape our lives. Whether you are building new connections or reevaluating old ones, so this episode encourages intentional life-giving relationship. Do you have anything to say?
Okay, so as we're going into the new year, I think it's important that we evaluate the company we keep and the friendships we have, right? Because I know everybody say, "Oh, we're cutting this person off, we're cutting people off. This is the season of cutting people off." But I'm not saying, "Oh, we have to cut everybody off," because your friend did not text you happy birthday. Maybe they were just your friend did not text you happy birthday. Maybe they were just having a bad season. That doesn't make them a bad person or a terrible friend. Your friend wasn't there for you when you really needed them. What if life was also happening for them at the same time? what if they were ashamed to share that aspect of their life with you, so they just disappeared instead? This not to say that I'm encouraging ghosting. I'm just saying that as human beings, like, life can be lifing. I know I myself, some of my friends could have said, oh, I haven't showed up fully for them in their downtime. Maybe because at that point I wasn't even okay. I had no cup to pour out of because I was trying to figure out my own cup, right? And that just makes me human. So I do think in friendships we can bring a certain mindset of giving our friends grace, the way we bring that in romantic relationships. Because I feel like, especially I'm speaking from a woman's perspective and female friendships, right? um Women do their friendships like, oh, my friend has to get this, my friend has to understand, my friend has to do this. But we, with the opposite sex, we give them grace. A man will go to you and you give him grace. He disappears for a few days, you give him grace. Why can't we extend that same grace to our friendships, right? So I think that's what I want to also talk about. Another thing that I would also like highlight is, in friendships as well, it's also important to make sure that your values align as you're growing. Because I have had friendships of 10 years, 14 years, 8 years, and there's a point I reached in a type of friendship like that I started realizing we had grown apart. We've been friends for so long, but we're no longer the same versions of us that started that friendship. And because of that, we don't have much to say anymore. And that's not to say that there's anything wrong with that. That's just life. You honor it for what it is, and if you need to dead the friendship, you dead it. It's There's this saying I always say: 20 friends can't play for 20 years, and that is very valid. Like, you can end up being five if you started as 20 friends 20 years ago. And that's not to say there's anything wrong with that, or the people that you cut off are horrible human beings. You just outgrow each other. And that's life. Sometimes we outgrow friendships, we outgrow places, jobs. So of course we can outgrow friendships as well. If you're It's the time of the way where you need to evaluate if your friendships are, if you're staying in a friendship because of the history you have. I don't think that's enough to stay in a friendship. There has to be values that are aligning you and that person right now. I'm not saying the person has to talk to you every day. People have to talk to each other every day. No, because me, I'm not the kind of friend that talk to my friends every single day, right? 20 students basically can play together for 20 years. You have to be able to evaluate your friendships, and we're at the point where it's important to think, oh, if I'm still in this friendship because of we've been friends for 10 years, it doesn't make sense to still be in that sort of friendship. You people need to be keep updating your values basically as you're growing. I was friends with this person at 15. I'm no longer 15. I don't think like I'm 15 anymore. So 29-year-old me might not necessarily like this person anymore, and that is valid. That is valid. But what you need to do moving forward is honor it for what it is and have a conversation with the said friend. Don't just ghost them. I will recommend that. Honor your friendship. You were friends for 10 years. For the sake of that friendship, for how long you guys have been friends, talk to your friend. Okay, I feel like we're going apart. I'm going in this direction, you're going in this direction. We need to, like, how do we align our values? And if the person is not willing to have that conversation or align values with you, then that lies your answer, right? So that's what I want to say in this situation.
See, like I said earlier on, um, friendships, they shape who we are as a person, from identity to your boundaries to your emotional well-being. And to be honest, it's something that when we think of all these things, you don't just become friends with anybody. See, how they influence how we see ourselves, how we handle conflict, what we tolerate, and even what we believe we deserve. See, from Me evaluating the friends that I've kept long up till now, I wouldn't say I did a very wonderful job. They're okay based on who I was at that time. I remember one of my friends that recently just blocked me. Not recently, like a couple of months back, she just blocked me. And I knew that that was coming, that was going to be me soon. Why? Because I've seen how she has handled conflicts. I have seen how she has handled misunderstanding between her and some of her other friends, and how she just takes action without settling down to think, to evaluate the situation, why this person did this, why this person did that. I'm not saying that it proves the person right, but there's always a reason behind why people do the things that they do, and that's where healthy conversation comes in, so you will know to make the right decision. Then at one point I just reached out to her. I mean, life was lifing, like she said, life was lifing. We had not spoken in a while, but I knew she was all right because I was keeping tabs on her post and everything. So I now reached out to her on Twitter and I was like, how have you been? She didn't even reply me. She now replied me like a day later. And I was like, is it now that you're replying my message? She was not like, me when she sent me my own message, how long did it take me? And mind you, genuinely, I don't really text on WhatsApp. If you send me a message on WhatsApp, on Twitter, I barely go there. So it will be difficult for me to actually reply you. And mind you, she has my contact. If the message was that important, I believe she would have reached out to me on the social platform that she knows I will reply her on time, or probably better still call me to say, oh, I sent you a message or so and so and so. You see, that's where maturity comes in. And I was like, I was already getting drained, and I was like, this is just so very unnecessary, because this conversation would have been held, or would have been had. You're holding a grudge against somebody who doesn't even know you're holding a grudge against the person. And that's very crazy. Because I was like, where is all this thing coming from? She now said that, oh, she's tired of making this friendship, putting effort in this friendship, like and it's just one-sided. She's only the one making an effort. I apologized that, okay, if that's how you feel, I'm not going to downplay or dismiss your feelings, and that is that if that's how you feel, I'm truly sorry. That wasn't the intention on my part to make it feel like as if me being friends with me is difficult. But I believe that you should understand that we are both adults, we are working, and we are not going to be conversing every time. But when we do, it's going to be an interesting one. And after that, I thought we were on the same page. It like a couple of months, like 2 months later, I just found out that she blocks me everywhere, and I'm like, to be honest, this is, if I'm the villain in her story, good riddance to bad rubbish. Because if we're being honest, I'm not going to be an angel in all of my friends' story. If we're being honest, some people, I have, because of my childish way, I have made stupid decisions that actually ended the friendship. I never said that, oh, being friends with me is going to be, we grow, we evolve. That's why we're human beings, and the fact that we both evolve in different places and different, that's what makes the friendship very interesting, because we now come to a common ground to see that we are not the same people, but because of the fact that we are different, that's what makes the friendship very, very interesting. People we call our friends becomes our mirror. Do you know that, like, they mirror who you are as a person, though through them we learn our communication pattern. You see where I said that we evolve and we get to understand ourselves better, our emotional limits, our values. Like the friends that I'm no longer with, I got to find out that, yo, I'm on a different path and our values don't align anymore, and that's okay. We don't have to fight to end that friendship. That's very, very okay. Our values don't align anymore, because whenever we converse, to me is, I converse more about Jesus, and when I hear conversation and I'm like, I'm just lost. I don't converse like this anymore. I have evolved to be a different person entirely. And this particular friendship don't serve me anymore. It's okay to tell yourself that you don't continue holding on to a memory that's already served its purpose. You can't continue to be friends with that person and know that you people are just opposite of each other. You people, there's nothing that you people can actually converse about. You people are just there. It doesn't make any sense. And you find out that some people that actually treat friendship like that, they stay in wrong relationships. Because when you're meant to leave that relationship, you continue to stay because you're holding on to a memory that's already served its purpose. You're holding on to a wish that, okay, you saw forever with this person, and now that you're seeing the signs that forever is no longer with this person, you need to go and find someone better. You continue to hold on, and that's very, very wrong, to be honest. See, healthy relationship encourages growth. Healthy friendship, I mean, it encourages growth. I was having a conversation with her a couple of days ago. She was telling me about, I thought we were having a conversation. So I was like, it was a period of time where two of us, we didn't talk for like a couple of months, and we were so a couple of months. I mean, life was lifing for each other, so there was no communication. And she was like, that was the period she was going through a lot. And I was like, yeah, we didn't fight, but I just wanted to give you your space. And she was like, why did you think I needed space at that time?
I didn't ask for space.
And I was like, first of all, I don't know anything about boundaries when it comes to you people be my friends, because we've never had that conversation about boundaries. You people have never, maybe because of I've respected myself enough to have unspokenly created those boundaries and everybody was okay with it. We've never had that conversation that, see, I don't do this thing, that thing. We just all had common sense to have thought about it. And when I see other friends having this kind of conversation, it's weird, because I'm like, I've never had this conversation with my friends before, but yet again, there's a mutual respect for across board. Do you understand? So I was like, I'm sorry, I just felt at that time you needed the space and I gave it to you. She was not like, I didn't need space at that time. Life was really, really lifing. I on the other hand, life was lifing, but not as much as life was actually lifing for her. And she probably would have needed that shoulder to really cry on, but I was not there, because in my head I was like, she needs the space. Another thing that healthy friendship actually encourages is winnings. They celebrate your little wins.
Yes.
Your little wins, those things that you do that you don't think is a big deal. Your friends celebrate it, that you have
You're
come
a
a long
big
way.
deal to your friends.
Yeah.
They are there for you, even in your insecurities. Like, I don't feel like I can do this. Your friend will be like, you can do this. In short, most times, like this, from my own experience, my friends believe in me more than I even believe in myself sometimes. Like, you can do this. And sometimes the encouragement that somebody believes I can do this, then I can do it, right? It's your friends shouldn't be in competition with you.
Yeah.
That's not friendship.
I totally agree.
That's not friendship.
Friendship they challenge your honesty. Any friend that encourages your bad behavior, that person is not your friend. That person is just a kisser with you.
It's not your
it's
friend.
Not your
either.
friend. That person is a kisser.
Any friend you cannot bring around your man, it's not your friend either. Because why can't you bring your friend around your man?
That's not a friend.
You don't trust your friend. Why is she your friend?
Exactly.
Why is she your friend?
You can't be friends with people that you don't trust. It makes absolutely no sense. Speaking about it, you like, why are you bringing that person in your personal space if you don't trust the person? They create space for you to be fully yourself without fear of judgment. You can honestly go to this your friend, and even if you made a very bad decision, you can actually go to your friend and speak to your friend that, I did this thing, because you are confident and you trust the person, and you trust the person to actually not judge you but actually listen to you. That's a healthy friendship. Friendship that actually challenges your honesty, like, this thing you're doing is actually wrong. You're not supposed to be doing those things.
Friend that tells you the truth about what you are doing and doesn't sugarcoat it, right? not a friend that is a yes friend that is always yes, yes. Even when you're wrong, go yes, I support you. No,
They hold you
they
accountable.
hold you accountable.
Yeah.
Because that's bringing that topic. Can I digress?
Yes.
That was sort of what transpired with my last friendship that I ended.
Mm.
I over earlier this year I ended a friendship of like 7 years, and it was not the easiest because we have, prior to this last time that we stopped talking, we've had issues and we did not talk for months.
Mm.
And the year before we had issues too and we did not talk for months. So it's been a continuous series of pull and drag and all that,
The same
right?
thing.
And I this last time I came to a realization that if I wanted to keep being friends with her, it meant that I had to keep quiet about some of the things that I wasn't okay with. I had to not necessarily hold her accountable for the things that she has done to me
Mm.
and the way I felt in certain situations.
Mm.
So I thought that I think we shouldn't be friends anymore because you are expecting a version of me that no longer exists. The me that started our friendship 7 years ago wasn't necessarily holding her accountable for my own feelings.
Not like
Do you
enabling.
understand? I was enabling it. She would do certain things and I would just overlook it. I wasn't okay with it though, but I would overlook it. And I think because of that, she was just used to me overlooking certain things, not demanding, you should say sorry, you should apologize for this thing you
Yeah.
did, right? I would sweep it under the rug and just move on. So she was always used to that. So I don't blame her for expecting the same thing that I have been giving her in the last 7 years. But I'm not the same person I was 7 years ago, right? I've changed, I've evolved, and new me now is not interested in not holding anybody accountable, right? And that was why we're having push up because I was starting to hold her accountable, and she wasn't used to me holding her accountable. So she would like, this is not what we're used to. She's dragging it with me because this is not what she's used to, right? So coming to that conclusion, did it hurt me that the friendship ended? Yes. Do I? Because I think when we talk about friendship, we think, oh, because you stop talking to the person, you won't miss the person, or maybe if you miss the person, it's a sign to go back. No, because I currently miss her, but I am self-aware enough to know that she's still that version of her. And if I try to fix the friendship, we will have issues again because I will try to hold her accountable at some point and she will not be wanted to held, she will not be held accountable basically. So I'm just saying that that accountability part is very important because I think some people have a very different understanding of friendship. They expect their friends to have their back, and that's nothing wrong with your friends having your back, yes. But I also think a form of my if for me, right, a form of my friend having my back is also telling me the truth when I'm lying to myself. Don't lie to me. If I did something wrong, tell me I did something wrong. Some of the friendships I have kept right now for years, one of my friend, one of the reasons why I really love her is that she has always held me. In short, when I need someone to tell me the truth, she's the one I call because she will never sugarcoat it for you. And I value that. For me, right, I value that aspect of friendship because we're living in a world where if you have money, if someone loves you, it's easy for them to lie to you about who you are and not tell you the truth. Chinata, this thing you did wrong. I'm not supporting what this person did though, but you did not do right in this aspect. That to me is a good friend, is a real friend. They are not telling you, oh, you did it, supporting that person, even though you are the person wrong in this situation. They are supposed to tell you the truth. Me and this particular friend did not talk for 6 months at a time in uni because she wasn't supporting the relationship I was in at that point. And thinking back now, she was definitely right. Or her fears, her telling me this guy is not good for you, she was right. But me in that at that point did not want to see what she was saying. I feel like
Because
she
you were
was not
in love.
supporting my religion. I feel like she was not supporting my relationship. She was not there for me. Like even if I was in my mind, I'm like, even if he's bad for me, let me make my mistakes. But she didn't want me to make those mistakes. We did not talk for a while because of that. Now looking back, she was absolutely right. That human being was not a good option for you.
Hmm. And to be honest, that accountability part,
Mm,
you rarely see friends who hold you accountable for your actions. In
mm,
fact, you see them defending your stupid actions. Like, I have a friend, I noticed is the pattern with her, so I usually don't go to her anymore because I already know. You see, this is when you are now self-aware, because I know that if I go to this person, you know, she to tell me the truth, she will try to say, okay, you did it, he, this person did it, this, remember this person did this thing, did that thing. I'm like, I don't care about this other person. I care about me, and if what I did is actually right, if that made me a better person. You're not doing things because okay, you're trying to be a better person in the eye of people. At the end of the day, you're not getting your validation from people, you're getting your validation from God. So whatever you do here on earth, when the time comes, questions will be asked and you will have to answer. On the last day, every question will be asked, and every question will require an answer. So you should be conscious and aware right now for every decision, every action you take. What is the consequences? Is it going to affect the next person? Was I supposed to be a better person? Did I handle this situation better than I supposed to? You sit down and have this conversation, and that's where you need accountable people that will hold you accountable and responsible for your actions. You are somebody who likes to use your hands very well. You like to lay your hands on people that you're not supposed to lay your hands on, and you claim you have friends, and yet those your friends don't speak to you. If I have a friend that does that and I speak to the person one time, speak to the person second time, the person doesn't listen, I will cut off myself from that person, because I really do not want to be associated with somebody who lays his hand on other people. Why would I want to be associated with such kind of person? It doesn't speak well of me as a person. When they say birds of the same feather flock together, what do you think that actually meant? I do not want to be associated with somebody that lays his hand on another person, and when they speak to the person doesn't listen. A full grown adult, you're not beating a child. No, now you see, that's where unhealthy friendship comes in, and quietly those kind of friendship harm reshape you in a very harmful way. You don't have friends that actually genuinely compliment you, and those compliments come from the heart. You dress fine, instead of you to be honest to this person that, oh, this person looks beautiful, you're beautiful, your hair is nice. Even if the hair is not nice, you say it in a very nice way. Ah, babe, this your hair, it really doesn't fit you, oh. I don't know what is happening. Like, you say it in a very nice way that the person will understand that you're not coming from a place of hate and a place of oh, this your hair na nonsense, it's good for you. No, that person is not coming from that place. They constantly criticize you for every action that you do. There's criticism behind it. Like, you shouldn't be keeping those kind of friends. And literally, when I see people keep such kind of friends, I begin to question. In my heart, I'm like, why do you have to continue to deal with this kind of person? The person doesn't pay your bills. The person does not add any value in your life whatsoever. Rather, the person keeps talking you down, talking your confidence down, talking your self-worth. You start to shrink yourself, because that person is trying to make you small, and so that the person is already, see, for people who do like that, they are small, so they do not want to see people bigger than them. So because of that, they use their mouth to whine you, so that you become smaller than they are. They are in constant competition with you. You're not even aware. You buy this today, they will look before you know they've gotten their own. Who is in a competition with you, for heaven's sake? Why should you even be in a competition with this person that you call your friend? And to be honest, this part of Nigeria that we stay is very common. It's very common. You see girls in constant competition with themselves, and I'm like, is it necessary? Is it actually necessary? You tell somebody, even your friends should also help you be in the right emotional headspace, mentally and otherwise. But you see people continue to emotionally neglect you, and you take it. Your emotions are so imbalanced, because it's because of the kind of people that you keep. You shrink yourself, you see yourself over explaining. Why you are over explaining? Who? Why do you have to constant? And to be honest, that my friend that I told you blocked me, I noticed that that's what I saw myself do. I started over explaining, like, why should I have to do that? You're my friend, so you're supposed to know me. You're supposed to know my weakness, know my strengths. But if I have to constantly over explain myself and I now normalize not being heard, you don't hear me as a friend, that's a very unhealthy relationship. What are you people doing? What are you people doing? What are you people doing? I think as we are in a new year, we need to all start re-evaluating the people that we let into our circle, our inner circle. Friendship, they also shape our boundaries. They show us what we allow and what we walk away. Like she said, she knew that she cannot condone such habits. If you cannot take accountability for your actions, you make everything about you. I'm the villain in all of your story. I can't take it. I'm not going to allow it anymore. I have evolved as a person and I refuse to tolerate such habits. If I cannot call you my friend and call you out on your nasty behavior, why are we friends? Why are we friends? And if you being a nice friend, you see your friend telling you what they want, what they can take and what they cannot take in a friendship, you as a good friend, you respect their boundaries. You see, it now doesn't make sense if that particular person gives sets boundaries and you respect it, and you set your own boundaries, the person doesn't respect it. That's where the problem lies. But if the person sets boundaries and you respect that boundary to the T, and you set your own and the person does the same thing, you guys are great friends. Because like I said, there's mutual respect across board. Each connection teaches a lesson. Some teaches us how to love well, others teaches us when to let go. You see, your friendship, that's why they say your friendship is a reflection. It's like a mirror. It mirrors who you are. And that's where, because of the fact that you don't take rubbish in your friendship, you wouldn't take nonsense when it comes to your relationship. Hope you know that. Because you've already started setting it, and people who respect you as a person, it's not the one that you will call your friend, you call one, call second, call third, the person doesn't pick, maybe the person now replies, calls you hours later, you start changing it for the person. I trying to say the person doesn't have a life. I trying to say the person doesn't shouldn't have a life outside of being your friend. I can understand that, okay, there are some times when you need the person and the person is not available. You, like she said, you give that person grace. You don't know what the person actually is going through. There are times before then when you have actually needed the person and the person has actually showed up for you countless times. So that one time that person didn't show up for you doesn't rule out all the other times that the person actually did show up for you. The person also actually has a life outside of your friendship. Imagine if you all are married. Now we are single, so we wouldn't say, okay, even though life is actually lifing. Imagine if you all are married with kids. This a family person, for heaven's sake, and the person's family comes first, regardless of if you people have known each other for 35 years. You need the person can come to you in a certain way. The person is capable of coming through for you, and that's very okay. That is very, very okay. See, friendship is very important. It is very important to who, and it is very important to us, because as human beings, because you're not an island of your own. No, you cannot do this life alone. No, hope you know that. You need good people, you need genuine people. If you're a bad person, you need it is the kind of thing that you do that you attract to you. You genuinely see friends that what connects them is the fact that they sleep around with themselves, and that's what connects them, and that's what makes them friends. And I'm like, that's okay, because that's the value that they share together. Abby, whether it is a good thing, whether the value is good or whether his value is bad, there's a value, there's a common factor that is making you guys friends. Ultimately, friendship don't just accompany us through life. Like I said, you can't do life on your own. We need friends. They help us form. Choosing friendship with intentions, honesty, and shaped values is not selfish. To be honest, like, you use that friendship, like now, She has identified something in a friendship that ended, that had to end, a friendship of 7 years that had to end. She has identified that thing that she cannot tolerate. Do you think if another friend comes that acts the same, if somebody comes and okay, somehow from acquaintance they become friends, is acting the same way, do you think she will tolerate it? That if she tolerates it, that makes her a hypocrite, because isn't it the same reason she ended a friendship of 7 years? She got tired of the circle, the never ending circle. You fight for, I'm like, how do you even, I thought we did that thing when we were in secondary school. You don't talk to your friend for 6 months, 7 months. I don't know how to do that. We've had issues before, both of us, and we've not spoken. We didn't speak for a year, and mind you, that happened when we were in school. We were still kids. And now if we have issue, I can't even remember when we had issues, if I'm being honest. But I think when we are not okay with how one person acts, we say it there. You acted this way, you've been acting this way, I've been tolerating it, but it's high time, like, this is, I don't like it. You this is how you act, this is how you, I don't want, you shouldn't be acting this way. I don't like it. I've been keeping quiet because for some reason, maybe. And if you have a friendship that is making you walk on eggshells, there's no need for you to be friends with that person. There's absolutely no need for you to be friends with that person. It is necessary for you to have an emotional healthy friendship, a friendship that helps you grow personally, and not just you but them. Not just you, it's not one-sided, and become the person you are meant to be. You have, if your friendship does not bring you to the full potential of who you are meant to be, then you're not meant to be friends with that person. If your friendship does not bring you to fulfill the purpose of God in your life, you're not meant to be friends with that person. There are friendship that influence you so bad that you will end up so far away from God. But guess what? He will still draw you. He's never too far from you. Even if you think that he's so far away from you, he's never too far from you. And the fact that you are now coming closer and you want to do better, it's very hard, but you have to let those friends go. I was having a conversation with her one time and I told her that I'm finding it very difficult to let some of my friendship go because I've had those friends for a very long time, and I thought that we would end up like decades and decades later we'll still be friends. But with the fact that I'm now on a different path, I'm on a different journey, I'm now actually trying to fulfill my purpose. I am now understanding and I'm now aware that those friendships don't serve me anymore. And that's the hard truth. You don't have to fight to end those friendships. You just know that you guys are no longer on the same path, and it's okay for you to end it. It's okay for you to end that friendship. It's
Doesn't
okay.
make them a horrible person. It's just life. People can't all, like, you can't be friends for too long, for so long, if your values are not aligning as you're growing. Meaning that if you were 15 when you started this friendship, at 25 you would, your values should be aligning. Even at 25, at 40 your values should still align. You shouldn't keep a friendship because, oh, we've been friends since I was a child, so that means we are still friends. That doesn't work, especially with adult friendship, right? We should evolve and your friends should evolve with you. I have friends that have been friends with me since I was 15, and we're still friends till now. We're still friends till now because currently our values still align, and we have given each other grace to change and evolve as we grow older. We understand that you're not the same person you were when I started sharing chingom with you in class. Do you understand? But you're different, but I still love you in that same degree.
You see, ultimately, friendship don't just accompany us through life. The friendship that we keep today, they don't just accompany us through life. They actually help form us. Choosing friendship with intentions, honesty, and shape our values are not selfish. Those things are not actually selfish. So if we're choosing friendship today, we have to choose those friendship that will shape us to become better persons, better people. We have to intentionally choose friends that friendship, we have to be intentional, because we're already at a point in our life whereby we don't just be friends with just anybody because we can be friends. You will reevaluate and think, is this person actually going to add value to my life? Am I going to be a better person, better than who I am or who I used to be? Those are the questions you will ask when you want to be friends with anybody. See, it is necessary for emotional health. That friendship that you're actually going for has to help you grow emotionally. You have to be in good, you have to be emotionally healthy. You also have to grow personally. If that friendship does not help you grow personally, help you with your personal growth, I don't see why you should be friends with that person. Becoming a better version of yourself, coming into the full potential of the person that you are meant to come to. If that friendship does not do all those things, you have to let that friendship go. Because at the end of the day, like my cousin said, 20 children can't play together for 20 years. At some point, people have already outgrown each other, and that's okay. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. With that being said, I hope you guys had a wonderful time today, because this friendship topic, you see, in this part of the world where we stay, people, you see friends, people with 20 friends, 30 friends, 40 friends, and none of them are actually adding value to this particular person. You're just packing friends. What are you packing? What are you packing baggages for? There's no reason for you to pack any baggage. Let that person go. No hard feelings, no bad blood, nothing. But at this point in my life, there's no way we are serving each other anymore. I'm not serving you, you're not serving me. At least I'm aware to know that I'm not serving you. So it's high time we go our separate ways. Let us grow individually. If along the line we meet and become better friends than we are now, and that's okay. But right now, at this moment, we can't be together. That's okay. The kind of friends that you keep ultimately shape the kind of person you will end up with. If I'm being honest, if we're being honest, you keep shabby friends, you end up with a shabby person. You keep friends who don't know boundaries or who can't respect boundaries. Well, there's no need for me to say more than that. With that being said, I hope you guys had a wonderful time, because I did. We did had a wonderful time. So we're going to be seeing you same time, same place next week. And a very happy new year to everybody. I hope we are able to achieve our goals this new year, and I hope God will continue to bless you and uplift you in Jesus' name. Amen. See you guys same time next week. Bye.